Welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. And this morning we're going to be talking about social media. But first, let's do some introductions. We are doing this every time in order for all of us to keep our elevator pitches live. So, David, you are here first. Would you like to do your elevator pitch?
I'm still working on it, so I got to go back and rewrite it again and make it more, or make it um, friendlier. Let's put it that way.
Conversational.
Yeah, conversation. Um, I'm Dave Flannery. I'm with Affordable Websites for Small Businesses here in Rock Falls, Illinois, where we take and we make simple websites with uh, great results and can get you found on the internet very easily. We also have the ability to do online ordering for restaurants and whatnot.
Hmm.
So, with that, I tell you today is going to be 70 degrees outside, somewhat sunshiny. I might even go fishing this afternoon. Take
In,
a break.
in 70 degrees, that I wouldn't blame you.
So,
Right on.
with that, back to you, LowellAnn.
Right on.
Oh, we are streaming in YouTube and the website, and I have yet to see Javita come in.
Uh-huh.
I'll let you
Okay.
know when she's here.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, Vivek, you were next.
Namaste. My name is Vivekananda. Literally, it means wisdom and happiness. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. I aim to bring time tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, and amplifying simple technology and tools. Together at Wake, we wake up our potential. So that's my elevator pitch. It has remained so for a long time now. I haven't thought, I don't see any need for changing it, but I'm open to suggestions
Hmm.
as usual. I am in Reading, England. The weather has been okay. It is in two digits, but yeah, it rains and then sun comes out and again there is rain and typical English weather.
Yes, and I guess typical spring weather. Yeah. Well, and do you want to say something about your outfit?
Yeah, I am an earth buddy. I want to do my contribution towards saving the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do follow what Sadhguru keeps saying, his messages and his campaign. So that's why I'm wearing all green past few weeks now.
Mm-hmm. Right on. And I might say I've watched with great interest what Sadhguru is doing and his messages about the soil and so forth. It's really, really interesting. Really interesting to see the way his campaign is running in all of those European cities.
Mm.
Yeah, very interesting. So, um, we all need to be paying attention to what's going on in our soil. That's for sure. If we care about food sustainability,
Mm.
right? So yeah. So now, David, you're waving.
Yes, Javita says hello, everybody. Good day to all of you.
Greetings, Javita. Happy you're here. Okay. We were wondering if you'd be among the missing or if you would show up. So we're happy you showed up. So, Fred, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, LowellAnn. Thanks for asking. I'm Fred Jones, who is the creator of Our Future Leaders, which works with the younger generation to help them gain the all-important leadership and communication skills that will help them make the world a better place. Because, as you know, there's lots of challenges in the world today. Amongst them is, food, etc. But communication can help a lot. And that's what Sadhguru is trying to do, is communicate with people. We're all trying to communicate.
Oh, your sound has disappeared, Fred. I don't think he can hear us even, by the looks of things.
To running a weekly group meeting, whatever works for them. Maybe it's summer camp and they want to have some activities during summer camp. Those are the sort of things I can help with. So they can reach out to me, anyone who wants to work with youth. And I'm in Langford, which is the tropical side of Victoria. It's so tropical that it's 2 degrees and it was snowing.
Yes, I know. I've already been griping about that, Fred.
Yeah.
Here it is in the middle of April and it's snowing, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, I wanted to let the dogs out. I opened the door and I thought, no, I'll wait till after the meeting. Maybe it'll have stopped snowing by then, and I can let them out. So,
Well, it's not staying on the ground, at least.
yeah.
All right. So, I'm glad you're here, and we did miss a portion of your message. The sound just cut out for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem I'm having with for Zoom on Chrome. I'm still struggling with it on Chrome.
Yeah.
I don't know why my Chromebook. There's an app and they're discontinuing the app,
Oh.
and now I'm trying to sort that out.
Nothing ever remains the same, Fred. Oh yes, as we would say from times past, they keep moving the cheese. I'm happy you're here, Fred. And Alana, how are things in Ireland?
Cold and rainy. And a few days ago we had hail that was about the size of golf balls. So we're getting it all. We're getting at everything. So similar to probably what you're getting there in Canada, but yeah, typical. Normally we would get this kind of weather in March, but we seem to be a month behind schedule. So weather-wise, but I'm experiencing my own technical difficulties. So hopefully you won't lose me, but I think it's a local issue. It's not an internet issue. So it's a system resource thing that I've been working on.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my new project.
Yes, things keep on changing.
which further reinforces my need for another laptop. So I'm waiting for the new Apples to come out. I'm waiting for the new MacBook Airs to come out later this year. I think they're going to have the M2 processor in it. So I thought I'd jump on that one.
Right on. Well, I'm certainly glad you came, because I was sitting here looking at the 4 squares and thinking, how come I'm the only one here that doesn't have a hat on?
Yeah, I'm not really much of a hat person myself. I don't really like hats. So
Well, I mean,
not even in winter, not even to keep my head warm.
if it keeps up, I'm going to have to bring a hat to our next session.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got caps on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like doing your elevator pitch?
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Alana coming to you from Ireland. I'm a copywriter and freelance writer. I write, my company's AOB Digital Marketing Solutions, and I write content and copy to help small businesses increase sales and conversions.
Right
I
on.
got it all in.
Good. Right on. Okay, and I will finish us off with mine. I love supporting retired third agers who are experiencing overwhelm, uncertainty, and procrastination as they take the first steps toward creating their online business. With my solopreneur coaching service, you get to choose the level of support that makes the most sense to you. Done by you, done with you, or done for you. So to find out more about what I offer, visit LowellAnn.com. So we are slated to discuss social media, and I must admit I do not have a presentation. I don't even remember why we decided to look at this topic. It seems it's so long ago that I don't remember. I guess I better keep better notes. But I did think that a good place to begin might be to say or to ask, what do we look for? What do you look for? What do we look for in social media? What is it? Why do we even want to get involved? So, given that question, what do you think? Anybody want to venture how they think about social media and why they're involved and what they expect, what results they expect to get? Anybody? Nobody? David?
I don't know what to expect to get anymore. It seems like every time I come up or I get an idea or someone gives me an idea and it's supposed to be simple and you do this, and this, and the money or the people or the all come in. And there's always one point in this process, in every process that I've been doing with the internet, that stops that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was discussing, we've been putting ads in social media and we're getting the people to come, but they're not liking what they're finding. So now how do I figure out what they want? And so I'm starting to work on that, and it's a struggle. I mean, before I would do ads and I would get no one to come.
Right.
And so now I'm getting the people, but now I have to figure
But
out
they don't follow
how do I
through.
make them happy.
They don't follow through, and it may not be. It may be just people out there clicking around. I mean, it may not be that they're unhappy with what they're doing. It may be that they're just out there out of curiosity. I mean, that's the tricky part, is to discover what people's behavior on all of these sites.
And the problem with real estate, unlike other forms of advertising and social media, real estate is really restricted because they don't want you targeting. They consider it discriminatory if you target from people that are buying homes are from 30 years old to 50 years old.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that are buying the higher end homes. So they consider that discrimination if you narrow down to that audience, because people that are 18 still may be able to buy the home. Not as many, but they still may be able to buy the home. So you have to present it to them. And that may be part of my problem is I can't narrow it down
So you're talking about targeting.
Yeah, targeting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have very little ability to target my ads. They are they go to a lot of people that may not be interested in buying a home.
Yeah. Well, and people do research online. They click on this and that and the other thing to figure out how things work or what's available or how much such and such costs, etc. So, yeah.
I have a question to David actually. How do these ads work? As in, are they you have by ads you mean you have to pay for them obviously.
Yes.
How does the payment work? Is it you have to pay a certain amount every month, or is it that if they click on it then you end up paying? How
No,
does
it's not that. That's Google ads that if they click on it, you end up paying. Um, the ads here are you pay like so much a day. You set a budget for so much a day, and um,
Now you may as well say what you're talking about Facebook ads.
Facebook ads. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant Facebook ads, and it's. I probably should increase the ad spend, but it's hard to spend more money and not get anything.
Right.
If you know what I mean, it's difficult. If I was getting somewhat some people coming through, then it would justify increasing the ad spend. But I have to figure out what people want, so that's what I'm going after now. I'm going to be asking people what information do they want and how do they want it presented when they look at the web page.
So the answer to your answer to my question, what are you looking for, is the reason you're doing this is to get traffic from people who are interested in what you offer.
Right.
Is it any different for the rest of us?
I don't think so.
Right. So, Vivek, when you and I were discussing this yesterday, you said, what do you, when we said that, you said, the two things I'm looking for is getting and giving value and engagement.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah. I mean, the ultimate end is that I provide a service for someone to be able to buy a home. But right now I'm looking for engagement. I'm looking for people that are looking for homes and to try to help them find it. I don't care if they're working with someone else or if they're not really interested in buying a home. I just want engagement. I want to talk to them. I want to be able to get people interested in what I'm providing and also interested in having a conversation with me.
Right.
And if I can get that, the rest will come. I just need them to talk to me or to talk to Debbie. And so it's more about engagement.
So you can't give or get or give value if there is no engagement, I guess is what
correct.
What it's coming down to.
Correct. I mean, in my ads, a lot of these people that are doing these type of ads, in order to see the website, you have to give your email. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have someone's email if they're not interested in working with me, because I don't do anything. I don't send out monthly newsletters. I don't send out specials. I don't send out listings that way. I mean, I don't use that portion of my marketing. And maybe that's where I should be, but right now I'm not doing that. And so I'm not planning on bombarding these people with, spam and everything. If they want information on how to buy a house or how to sell a house, I've got it, and I put it on my webpage or my Facebook page every day, every week. There's some new information there. So if they want that kind of information, they can see that quite well and quite easily. And if they engage with me, I will let them know. that it's there, how the process goes and this and that. And I'm just trying to provide help.
So if engagement is the main thing, where do we all find it, engagement happening? I guess is the next question. And quite frankly, from what I'm seeing from and I do participate in a number, but what I'm seeing is there. I mean, if you're posting things and putting things in, the engagement I seem to be only getting is people trying to sell me something. So it seems to be that that's the way it's, and to me that's not engagement.
No, and I mean, I haven't, in this type of advertising, I haven't run into a couple people that were realtors just seeing what was going on.
Yeah.
And so forth and so
They're
on. But
gauging the competition.
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Are they are assessing whether you are a threat to their business?
Yeah.
If you are, then
Or
they-
copying.
Or they want
figure-
to, see what his process is, and to know whether it would work for them, and that's fair enough. I mean, I think we all do that to some degree.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was on looking at the top real estate agents and seeing what their websites were like.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
none of them have a good website. I don't understand it. I mean, there's a company called OnSnap in the real estate business, and the top, and all they do is they put up a very, very basic page. It has a search, it has a picture of the person, and then a contact form.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing
Yeah.
else to it.
Yeah.
And she's a top real estate
It's basically a brochure.
agent. Yeah, and not a good one either. I mean, brochures are usually really nice looking. This wasn't nice looking. This was just bare bones.
Right.
But I don't know if that's working or if it's just there for convenience, or to say that she has that. You know what I mean? I don't know if she's actually getting any results from it, and she's actually getting her business elsewhere.
Ask her.
I thought about it. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she's sold over $10 million worth of property in the area that I'm trying to work in. So, sometimes people will give you their information because they're not scared that if you copy them that you're going to take all their business away.
Right. Yeah.
So,
well, now, so what I did was I made a list of all of the social media platforms that I could think of, and I started looking at each of them and the kind of engagement that seems to happen or not happen. And for example, all of us post things to YouTube. How much engagement do we get from YouTube? Well, I think there's one or two people that that live on the other side of the world who go there and watch my things and put some comments in. But very, very little. I mean, you can leave a comment, and as a person posting things to YouTube, you can see when there's a comment so that you can respond, etc. But it's and the main person that does this, I know her from another platform, which is Discord. So yeah, there. I mean, you can see within YouTube that you can see how many people have viewed your item, and you can tell basically how long they stayed there, etc. But there's really not a whole lot of engagement there. Facebook, I get a lot of engagement because I'm there to stay in touch with people I knew in the North. So the engagement that happens there is with current and old friends. I have not used Facebook to do any ads, although I keep getting invitations to do so. But I haven't really seen. You might get 2 or 3 on a page. You might get 2 or 3 views, but really no engagement there. Twitter. Why do people? Why do people go to Twitter? Well, from what I've noticed in Twitter, it's a lot of us are involved with Twitter because it's news based, and we want to stay in touch with the politicians and the journalists and all of that. I don't see any engagement happening on Twitter. LinkedIn. There's where I see the most, but it's the same every time. Would you like to buy this? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? It's always more. Once in a while, somebody will say, well, I noticed your thing and I thought it would be nice to engage. I respond, and then from there, there's nothing more. So I don't really see any engagement there. So I can go on and on, but there's a few things that, if we're looking at the best social media platforms for business, one approach that Jay has always taken is if you there are certain sites that if you can just get them to go to your website, that the more people that go there, then that puts your website higher up in the Google rankings, and that's about all you can get. So from that perspective, Pinterest is good, Keen is good. Those are the 2 that I'm aware of, and then you've got these other sites that are kind of very visual, like Instagram. And again, the engagement I get from Instagram are people that I already know. People that I know from Facebook. So this might be the place to say something that I did a bit of research about this week, because it popped up on something that I was looking at, and that is TikTok. Now, for a long time, TikTok has been regarded as a place where kids go that have abandoned Facebook. And so I watched a couple I watched an interview series and session, not a series, a session, and a presentation, both. And David, if you look at in the chat, I posted the links there. So some of the information that I got about TikTok from those 2, according to this, there are 10 million people over the age of 55 using TikTok. I couldn't find them. And again, you can buy ads on TikTok the same as you can. They sort of work the same way as Facebook. And although it was said that Facebook is more social, a social graph, whereas TikTok is supposedly a content graph. But I don't know. I was really curious about TikTok, so I went online and started watching. And they're sort of like YouTube Shorts. They're little short things that are what your dog is doing. Lots of young people doing stupid things. Um, a number of how-to things: how to clean your toilet, how to do this in your kitchen, how to do that, how to clean up your yard, all of that kind of thing. I really I don't I couldn't see any. I mean, if you see a TikTok something, where does it take you? I could not see that at all. And I'm just wondering if anybody else in the group here has watched any of these TikTok things. Has anybody, have you watched them, any of them, Alana?
Well, during lockdown here, there was quite a few on there about what people were doing during lockdown.
Yeah.
These little half a minute, 30-second
Mhm.
TikToks of grannies in the kitchen dancing to hip hop music with their grandkids and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I got a kick out of some of those, and then animal ones and what your dog is doing and all this kind of
Yeah.
weird stuff. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to come back a little bit to what you were saying about Instagram and how what you were finding was your interaction was mostly with friends and people you already know.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask if you had set up a separate Instagram account for your business.
That's what I have it. It's a business Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, so it is
Yeah.
a business. So
Yeah.
I was going to suggest there for you to perhaps find other coaches in your line of work that you could follow that may
Mhm.
reciprocate, and
Yeah.
perhaps you might get engagement there. And if you started to engage
Mhm.
with other coaches,
Yeah.
there might be some reciprocatory
Yeah.
things that could happen there.
Mm.
But yeah, back to TikTok. That's what I was watching
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Yeah. But I mean, anything that I've seen doesn't seem to. I mean, if they were advertising a product and showing how to use the product, I could see that. I could see that linkage between, the demonstration and the product. But for a service, I mean, I watched one this morning where they were cleaning out a swimming pool that was full of stuff. Well, I mean, I guess maybe the person doing the cleanup, but I couldn't see anything in the TikTok thing that would even say who he was. Yeah.
And I think when it comes to TikTok, you have to look at the audience there and see what are the audience, what is driving people to go to TikTok? What is the market there? Who are the people that are going there? What are they looking for?
Yeah.
Because that's like shooting in the dark if you're thinking about using that as a source of engagement.
Well, and I think I know this from some things that I watched even about Instagram, and TikTok as well. You can go in there and do a search, like you can do a search on a certain topic, and then see what rolls in. So and I think that's also true of Twitter. Like you can go in if you're interested in a certain topic, you can go in and do put a hashtag and see what rolls in. So I mean, I see these as maybe good sources of research. So then, as I move on, I was starting to think about Twitch. And a number of years ago, we were all talking about Twitch and joining a community, etc., etc. And Twitch is not unlike Discord, as far as I can see. It's kind of they're both kind of community building kind of sites, and I don't know that they bring in a lot of business, but there are some sites that are sort of sort of based on getting together with other people that like to do some of the things that you like to do. And I believe that both Twitch and Discord were started up by gamers. And then they started to grow in other directions. So I see a lot of similarity between Twitch and Discord. And then I started thinking about the wealthy affiliate community. I mean, again, it's very community oriented. There's something going on in there, people posting and asking questions, and that is one place that you can engage with people. So so that was one place that I have seen engagement happening between people there. And then I thought about some of these paid membership groups. One that comes to mind is Tinkering with Tech. That's the one that Michael Daniels and Heather Crafter do. And they do this little thing, and then they invite you into their Zoom as a paid member. And then there's another group that I've noticed, Tech for Seniors, a guy from BC here, Ron Brown. And he's kind of doing something similar to what we're doing here. A group of people that present their knowledge and, etc. But so I think among themselves, there is a certain amount of engagement happening there. But so, I mean, these are the some of the things that I've looked at. And I guess my question is to all of you, where do you find the engagement? Like Fred, I know that you post something in Facebook, in YouTube once a week. How much engagement does that bring in for you? And is that, I know that's not your purpose. I know from watching your videos that you're you're doing a legacy piece. But do you get much engagement from your videos?
If I can, I've turned my camera off because you may not hear me.
Yeah.
If you don't hear me, just tell me, because I have lots to say on this subject, and I might go on and hear nothing that I have to say. All right, the answer to your question is I do get engagement, not a lot. I get people sending me emails, responding if it resonates with them, and that's YouTube channel. That is the main thing. Although I do have a mailing list of people who've said they'd be interested, and so I do get people commenting on videos from time to time if it resonates with them.
Do they comment within YouTube or to the email that you sent them with the link?
Both, but mainly I'd say more of them are the email, but I get both. I have, but I don't get a lot of new, and I don't try and work about SEO and all of those good things that Jay works on. But I do have a couple comments, if I may, particularly for David. Do you know of Dean Jackson? He's part of marketing. Do you know of him at all, Dave? Because he started in the real estate business.
Oh.
Dave, I don't know if you're hearing me, but do you know of Dean Jackson?
No, I do not. I'm writing it down as we speak.
All right.
Give me 1 second, LowellAnn. I need you to repost those links in chat so I can post them on YouTube, please.
Oh, they're still there.
Well, they're not. Because I came out, went in, and went back out.
Oh, okay.
They didn't show up.
So yeah, I posted the two items that I watched the TikTok.
Sorry, Fred. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Dean Jackson has what he calls the breakthrough DNA, and it's the 8 profit activators. And I think it's very relevant to this conversation. Where do you go to find number 1 of the 8 is your single target market? You narrow your attention and focus on one target market at a time. And if it's young people looking for houses, that's who you go for. If it's people who want waterfront properties, that's where you go for. And he has lots of examples of what you do. And it sounds, David, that you have a lot of information on your website, which you update, but people aren't aware of it. So what he does is he suggests that you have, not you, but a real estate agent has information that is of interest to potential buyers and sellers. And one of them is an example that I recall, and there's many different examples, is how much houses are selling for in that area, whatever your target market area. And because a lot of them want to know, what's my house worth? Or what's it going to cost me? And he publishes or suggests that you have that information updated.
We've lost you, Fred. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. So, but even this, just what Fred just shared.
That information. You're not hearing me?
We are now.
We can hear you now, but there was a probably the last minute we didn't hear what you said. Now you're gone again. Yeah. So, based on what Fred said, I what occurs to me about my experience is I'm spread too thin. So, what I think I'm going to do, just to prove a point, I'm going to choose one of those, and I'm going to concentrate on that one place and spend a lot of time just in that one place, and just to see how much engagement you can generate when you do you're constantly there and doing something. So that's
and you compel them with the information. You're helping them, educate them, and motivate them. And they say, oh, Dave is great. He tells me the information I want. How to buy or sell a house is something you're talking about. Well, they might want to know that, but you've got to make them aware. I would highly recommend you look at those 8 profit activators. That will tell you where to find the target market. Maybe they're in Twitch. Maybe they're in the multitude of places that you said. But go through those 8 profit activators. There's a website, breakthroughdna.com. I will try and put it in chat.
Breakthrough.
DNA.com, and it covers a lot of this information. Let me see if I can put it in chat. Everybody type message. There it is. I think it should appear there now.
Yes, it's there.
Okay. That is very helpful because that'll give you the 8 profit activators. And the other thing I want to say, if you can hear me, is he is part of a website called I Love Marketing. They have hundreds of articles that I've listened to on this. I wouldn't recommend that. It can be overwhelming. I would recommend the start as Breakthrough DNA. There's enormous amount of information for free, but it can also cost you a fortune if you want to get involved. But this is how they market. They help you, and they build a reputation of being helpful and help the target market. And then, because you get that reputation and you're helping them, then they will start buying from you. And you're known as the real estate agent who has helped them find the information they want and help them make their life easy. And that's what I believe is what you do, Dave. But just his techniques that he has, that regularly they get an email from you with the latest information available, and they will reach out to you because of that. They've given you your email, their address, and what you send them out is saying, okay, here's the latest information. This is what's happening in the world of real estate in this particular area, whatever it is, the target market. And you can have more than one target market, but you work at one target market at a time. Okay, now you're working for young people. All right, now you're working for rich people. And those are different target markets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fred.
So we've talked about that in our
Probably not hearing me again.
No, we're not hearing you.
No.
We lost the last minute.
Where we go with social media is where the target market is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So that to me is what's really resonating on all this discussion, because it could be Pinterest, it could be, but why try Pinterest if your target market isn't there? Who's your target market?
Mm-hmm.
And you start with that, but it goes up to by the time you're at 8, people are giving you referrals. That's where it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And he even gives you techniques on how to get referrals, because we don't ask for referrals.
Yes. So I think what I'm hearing is figure out who your target market is, but then find out, discover what their questions are. Yeah.
And then answer those questions for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're known as the good guy because you're not trying to sell them anything. Dave doesn't want to sell them anything. Dave wants to help them. Well, that's perfect for this.
Yeah.
Help them. And guess what? If you're helping them, educate them, you're the good guy, they'll bring you other customers.
We lost you again. Yeah. So, Alana, do you participate in social media at all?
I'm on LinkedIn. I think like LinkedIn is the one that probably would work for me the best because of the nature of my business. But I'm also a member of a few copywriting Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm.
And so I jump in there from time to time, depending on what the discussion is about. But and then of course I have my website, but my website is basically just a business front, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on it, but I just don't have the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably say Facebook and LinkedIn would be my key communication avenues.
So, from what I've heard, I haven't seen evidence of. From what I've heard, the older generation, if they're going to be connected anywhere, it's going to be Facebook. Yeah. So
it seems to be the easiest thing to learn as well. I mean, I know there are people for them to figure it all out, but then once you figure it out, it's easy, like uploading images and all that sort of thing. But the posting part is pretty simple.
Oh yeah. But like I say, I see, and I mean, I do go in and try to interact with people and add comments and so forth, but I don't find other people, they'll hit a like button. But
I have to confess to that because that's what I have, that's all I do these days. I don't really write anything anymore. I just hit a like button and that's it. I'm getting too lazy when it comes to that. And plus I'm only half interested.
Yeah. So, so you sort of scout around. I guess that's called lurking, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say it's kind of voyeuristic, stalkerish.
Yeah.
But and the thing is too, I get more done when I'm not on social media. So that's one of the reasons why I stay away from it, because I find if I start posting things, next thing you know, 3 hours is gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no kidding. I know that.
Yeah, that's why I just hit a like button and then I escape real quick, and then hopefully no one knows I was online.
And you're probably doing it from your phone in between things when you just have a minute. And I think that's true of a lot of us.
Well, I do it first thing in the morning, like when I wake up and have my cup of tea. I do it then because everyone in the States is still asleep.
Yeah.
So
well, that's when I do mine as well. Sometimes even before I get out of bed. So the alarm went off, and I don't want to get up right now, so I'll go on my phone and see what's up.
Yeah.
So that's not really engagement, though, is it?
Not really.
That's just lurking around to see what's out there. Yeah. So.
But I mean, I have contacted people on LinkedIn for jobs too, and I have had responses. I've done proposals. So yeah, I mean, so LinkedIn from a business point of view works better for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, there certainly is more sort of activity I see on LinkedIn. Yeah, seems like. Yeah. So now, Vivek, you told me yesterday that you gave up on social media altogether. Why is that?
Mainly because there is no engagement, and it's mostly people sending me links to click on where it takes me to their page where they want to sell something, and that's it. I don't see that as any form of engagement at all. They just send me a web link. I'll click on it. If I click on it, I have tried that. I mean, in the sense, I have followed several such links only to find that it just takes me to a page which does give some information, but other than that,
mostly a landing page, right?
Yeah.
Trying to sell something.
And it's like the expression which comes to mind is a faceless corporation is trying to sell me stuff. That is the feeling I get when I see those, because there is no human engagement. There is no, it's just link they send. And
I have had a few emails from people saying, "Oh, I saw your thing here," but the email itself is a sales. Click here to get more information about the service that I provide. And now we get very, very nervous about clicking on links that come within an email. So that's, I mean, I think that the lack of engagement is partially due to the way the whole system is now being misused, or has been.
I have
with spam.
all sorts of emails that are coming in that are unsolicited, and they're selling me something, and I never click on them. I never go anywhere with them.
No.
I mean, I've got it from buying an air conditioner for my house to a Nigerian prince has $10 million, and all I got to do is give him 10,000, and he'll give me that $10 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, one of the things I have found a little shady is that it's happened to me a few times on LinkedIn where I will get these requests to be connected with someone that I have no real affiliation with or connection to or anything in common with, and only to find out that in one particular case they were looking for a job, and can I help them get a job in web development or something. And the only reason why they contacted me was they saw that I had worked for a web development company in the past, and so they were trying to use me for a connection to get a job with another company. So I thought that was a little shady. So since that happened, I never accept any friend requests from people I don't actually know or have any affiliation with.
But then how do you engage? I mean, if
exactly. That's the sad part. They send you a link or a request to connect with them, I mean,
Well, I look at, I kind of look and
but
see,
then,
what their occupation is. In this case, it was a programmer or a web developer. And so, as a copywriter, I don't really have any need to be affiliated with a web developer. So I kind of screen them out that way. But if I'm connecting with someone and I'm making the initial contact, I will find someone that I have something in common with and say, oh, we are both connected to this one person. I'd like to be in your network or something like that. And I would explain what I do. And I don't ask them if they need help with anything. I just simply say, this is my business and you're affiliated with this person that I'm affiliated with, and I'd like to be connected. And that seems to go well. I haven't had any problems with that. And I don't really go and solicit anyone like that unless I see they're looking for help.
See, I haven't noticed anybody asking for help on LinkedIn. Everything I get is trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I guess, but I take your point, Fred, that maybe, taking the approach in a much more focused way, trying to decide who it is that you're targeting and spend all your time there. Maybe that's the problem. Of course, we've all been victims of the bright and shiny thing when it comes to social media. And so we go out and we look at this, and then essentially what you do is you see all the same people there. So, yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to mention was I forgot to mention was Google Maps. Google My Business, as it was called before, and Google Maps. There is a certain amount of engagement that happens there. You can link to your website on Google Maps or Google My Business. But I wanted to mention, I think I've already mentioned this to Dave. I got something that said that Google My Business is going away and that all of that activity is going to happen in Google Maps. And I keep going in and looking there to see if there's how do you post something within Google Maps? I haven't discovered it yet. So I mean, if you have a website, your website link, the link to your website is there, but posting and engaging, I mean, yes, you can go in and give a review to something or somebody that you've stumbled on, but I don't see any way to post anything in Google Maps. Maybe I'm missing something.
That is because you are missing something in the sense Google Maps is for something that is physical. If you have a brick and mortar office and you have a few staff who go there and so on, if your customers come to your brick and mortar office and buy services and products and so on from you, then you can put all of that information on Google Maps and say that we are located here, and give directions for them to come in, provide a virtual map, 3D view and all that, and
but
that's what Google Maps provides you.
Yeah, but in Google My Business, you could choose a wide area that you were doing a business. You didn't have to give a specific address.
Yeah, so Google Maps is in that sense quite different from Google My Business. And
Yeah.
if you're saying
Yeah.
Google My Business is going away, then
Yeah.
yeah, it's another sad day when Google is killing off another thing where there is a possibility of any engagement.
Yeah.
Google
Wow.
Plus was that they killed it, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's the other thing that's kind of interesting, and of course, Vivek, you and I remember the old Google Hangout days when it was engaged. There was a lot of engagement that happened. People connected and shared things and interacted, etc. But that seems to have gone away. Or even that technique of interacting.
Yeah. In a way, it was the marketing machine which killed all that engagement. They wanted to, the marketers wanted to automate things. They didn't want to be physically present, and whatever, they didn't want to deal with the smelly people, or maybe, I don't know.
And you know, as I think about it, this whole trend toward AI is I mean, that's more of the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, everything being done by a bot and no sort of personal interaction. I don't know. Okay. Well, I see your note, Alana, but I think we've come to the end of the conversation, and I'm asking, I will be asking some questions later, but let's just close this by reminding everyone it's important to do what you love with passion, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week. So
Watch this space.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Watch this space.
Yes, watch this space. All right. So I will do my Alt 4.